Well, thank you once again for joining us on the program, Transforming Lives One at a Time. I am your host, Deanne McCletchy, and we are coming to you from beautiful Tobago in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Well, on this program, we talk about every and anything that affects the human experience. We delve into areas that affects us on a daily basis. And today we'll be talking about purchasing a vehicle and, of course, some of the things we have to seriously consider. Proper maintenance, and of course the list goes on and on. I have two guests today that are quite capable of guiding us in the right direction. My guest today, Denise Wright, one of the most known faces in car sales in beautiful Tobago, and she has been in this field for over 25 years. We also have Mr. Winston Trim, and he's a senior manager here in Tobago and has been in the field for over 18 years. So when I say they are capable, they are capable. All right, so lady and gentlemen, welcome to Transforming Lives One at a Time.
Thank you. And thank you. We want to say allowing us to come on the platform this afternoon. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Well, it's a very exciting time when someone wants to purchase a vehicle. It's exciting.
Yes.
But of course, there are many things that one should consider. It's not just about getting excited and not doing research and the whole 9 yards.
Right.
So, Denise, I will start with you. When an individual decides to purchase a vehicle, whether it's foreign used or brand new, what are some of the things they must seriously consider?
Okay. Well, one thing that comes to mind immediately is said research.
Yes.
So they need to do that research whenever they're purchasing a vehicle. You mentioned that the foreign used vehicles, we don't do foreign used vehicles, but we do new vehicles.
Right.
So I'll tell you just three of the things that would stand out in terms of purchasing a vehicle. The major thing that would come would be the warranty.
Okay.
However, we could discuss that later,
Yes.
right? So the major would be warranty. And then if you're purchasing a new vehicle, you will look at lower financing interest rates, or you may even benefit from a 0% or a 5 or 10% interest rate. And then the third one would be a longer period of time to pay for it. How I look at it is like a loaf of bread. So instead of purchasing the whole loaf of bread one time, you slice it up and then it becomes more affordable. So when you're purchasing a new vehicle, you have a longer time to pay for it. The rates are better. So those are just three of the things that I will look at when you're purchasing a new vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when a customer walks into the showroom, how do you qualify them?
Oh, that's a good question. How I would qualify a customer, first we would welcome them into the showroom. Now, there are determining factors. Sometimes a customer, they would have done their research so they know exactly what they want.
Yes.
Sometimes the bank or the credit union would have referred them, so they have a bracket that they're working with. They would have an idea what they're looking for. There could be a first-time customer that is simply browsing. They might be looking to get the vehicle in the next 6 months or so.
Okay.
Right? And I must say, with the automotive industry, you meet all types of people. You might meet the physician, you might meet the farmer, you might meet somebody who's into landscaping. So you might meet younger folks, the young entrepreneur. You may meet the retiree, right?
Yes.
So all of them with different needs, but the common factor is that they're looking for a vehicle.
Correct.
So you would do a preliminary interview, talk with them, find out what they're looking for, and then to give them a quick idea on kind of pinning them to what they want. You would say, how much do you plan to pay per month for this vehicle?
Right.
So that's one of the key questions. Another question that you would ask, how long you intend to pay for this vehicle, right? So if they want to pay for it 3 years, 5 years, 8 years, sometimes the terms go even longer. So
vehicle.
yeah, up to 10 years
Wow.
sometimes,
Okay.
right? So it all depends on how much you want to pay for the vehicle. Some people, they might say, I just want to get it done within a week, or I want to get it done in a couple of months' time. So you would have an idea on the time aspect,
Okay.
the cash aspect, all of those determining factors as to when you want the vehicle, what type of vehicle you want. If you're a family person, if you're
Right.
into construction, you may want it for construction purposes.
Okay.
So all of those determining factors will make you realize, okay, this is what I want. You may have seen the vehicle before. You may have had a referral, which we really, really like
Yes.
when somebody sends a referral. And of course, the loyal customers, the repeat customers who have been through the years, supported us,
Okay.
and they probably want to upgrade or they want to change out their vehicle. So a lot of factors come into place.
Wow,
but
that's a lot.
yeah, you would need to the warranty, as I said, the time that you want to purchase the vehicle, and the prices and so forth. All of those would come into
Right.
play.
And of course, as you rightfully indicated, if it's a farmer,
Yeah.
they may want probably the Hilux that would be
Right.
suitable for them to
Yeah.
transport their goods.
Yeah.
If it's a family, they may
Right.
want a wagon
Yes,
or
exactly.
yeah. So there are a lot
Yeah.
of things to be really
Yeah.
considered.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
may want
just
a
I want to buy a
4x4.
car.
Exactly. So, and you mentioned foreign use. Now, the benefits of purchasing a brand new vehicle, as I mentioned before. However, when you compare it to a foreign use vehicle, you have less of a time to pay for it. The interest rates might be higher, and again, the warranty.
Okay.
Right? So those are the benefits that you get with purchasing a new vehicle.
Right. Well, of course, I know you can't speak to really the foreign news. And of course, at a later point, I'm going to bring in a foreign news car dealer. So I have balance here on Transforming Lives.
Of course.
So you'll be speaking more from the aspect of brand new. And that is fine.
Yeah.
That is fine. Well, I want us to
can I
touch.
add?
Yes, please.
Right? Because a car purchase is what is considered the second largest purchase that you'll make, apart because the first is considered a house,
Yes.
and a car is a second. Most people, when they go out, I always tell them that sometimes they do the first second, meaning that they come to look for the car first
Yes.
before having themselves assessed. I normally tell people it is easier especially if you're going to be financing the car, it is always easier to be able to assess yourself, to be able to know how much you will qualify for. And based on how much you qualify for, when you go out to any car dealer, that you know that these are the vehicles within this price range
Correct.
that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because I have seen it a lot of times. People come and like the high-end
Yes, of
ones.
course.
And then, so it's just to be able to make sure that when in all the research that you're doing, that is one of the most important components of it.
Yes. And even as you spoke about that, I remember somebody, and we always hear it all the time. When we go into a showroom, we have champagne taste.
That's right. And Morby pockets.
But many times, Morby.
That's right.
Morby pockets.
Yeah.
I always learn to be realistic, because a lot of what sales reps do is basically having conversations to be able to bring information out from people.
Right.
Because you may have one perception in your mind, but then when you come, that is not what is practical for you.
Yes, of course.
So this is where having conversations to be able to understand what you really want this for. What is the purpose of it? Because you're going into this investment for a period of time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And to be able to understand that after it is finished, you should be comfortable with it.
Right.
Well said.
Yeah. So that's why it's important to get all the information and of course have the conversation. Well, I want us to touch on non-indebtedness, debt ratio, bad, good, or none at all credit. Or what do they really mean? Let's get into them.
Okay, so The non-indebtedness, when you look at it at face value, let's say you go to a bank, you're purchasing a vehicle, right? And you're finished paying off for it, thankfully. And after the number of years, you get what we call a non-indebtedness letter. So that is basically saying you are no longer indebted to the bank.
Okay.
Right? Now, some people, they said, I've paid my loan, I'm finished. However, if you're going to another financial institution for another type of loan, let's say, for example, a mortgage, then if you don't have that letter, it will seem as though you still owe the bank. So it's always good to have that letter issued to you from the financial institution. Another thing is that you might come to our our car company, and you may be going through to get a vehicle from us. You decided, okay, Denise, unfortunately, I'm not going with that vehicle anymore. I'm going to another company, and vice versa. So you started the process and you didn't go through with it. So if you go to another financial institution, you will still have to get a non-indebtedness letter. Even though you didn't go through with the transaction, you still have to get it because it clears you, right? And also with the banks, the bank will say we are no longer financially interested in this individual or going through the process. So it clears the bank,
of course,
and it clears you as an individual. So it's always good to have a non-indebtedness letter, right?
Another aspect of non-indebtedness, there's a second part of it. But non-indebtedness meaning that you don't have outstanding loans, and stuff like that. Because when you go to be able to purchase anything of something of that scale, they have to look at all factors where you're concerned about how you can live after if they have to give you, if they could give the loan. So you having, or a person having a lot of loans, paying rent and things, it diminishes how much you can pay. So all that is part of the factors that go to it, and it also says to how much that they're willing to be able to lend you as well. Because that's why I said in going to the financial institution before to assess yourself, it comes in very important. Because you may not think that those things factor in into how much that you actually could qualify for.
Of course, because you're actually, for the average person who are not homeowners as yet, you're paying a rent.
That's right.
You have to get food. You have to get so many things.
Any loans that you
so
have,
many things.
all of those factors are in it. So somebody who really doesn't have a lot of loans, or I should say any loans, is more the people who there's a possibility that you could qualify for 100% financing.
All right. Let's talk about the bad, good, and none at all credit, because sometimes you may go for a loan, and because you have not taken a loan from anywhere else before, they would say, well, you have no credit. We don't know how to assess you. Let's talk about that.
Yes. So when you're just starting out as a young person, right, a lot of us, we may not have developed a credit rating as yet. Remember, you could be just out of school and you haven't really taken a loan. Because you say, why am I taking a loan, right? So the advice is when you're going for, let's say, a car loan, you may not necessarily be ready this year or the following year, but the advice is take a small loan, develop a relationship with the bank, with the credit union, so that way they would see a history. Because surprisingly enough, when you don't have a history, they don't want to give you the loan.
Of course, because they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know you. So take a small loan, put it on savings, and then you develop a reputation, you develop a good credit history. So that's your good credit. Along with that, Your good credit could mean that in prior loans, they see your history and they realize, yes, Ms. Bradshaw, I've paid off my loans very well, so you can go back for another loan. So that's your good credit. So your bad credit now, of course, is if you have not been paying your loans, right?
Or paying on time.
Yeah, if you've been delinquent with your loans, then that would reflect as bad credit, right? If for some reason you have not been paying due to sickness or something like that, keep your relationship with the bank, inform them. If go back to the bank, renegotiate and say if to make a smaller installment instead of the current installment, but keep a relationship with them, or else it will, I could call it as a cloud over your head.
Right.
Right, because the credit is, the bad credit is there, and if you don't dispel it, then it remains. And that is where all things like your non-indebtedness letter comes in, because it will come back years after, like you haven't paid this loan, when in fact you know that you have. I know of one instance where this client, her dad had paid off the loan, but and she said, okay, everything is fine. He showed her the receipts and so forth, and now she's going back for a loan. But the history is showing that it was not paid. So she has to go look for that receipt from her deceased father. How many years ago? Yeah, you have to go to the credit search company. All of these things you have to do before you clear off that bad
So it's
credit.
recommended when you finished paying a loan to get that letter.
Definitely have that letter, right? So you spoke about, you said bad, good, or no credit at all.
Credit, yes.
Right? So when you don't credit again, develop a relationship, take out some small loans, right? And make sure and pay. So that's where you can develop a good credit rating when you're going to the company.
And I know with the COVID, especially coming out from COVID, a lot of persons were unable to pay their loans, and I know the government even made some kind of intervention and that kind of thing. But is it that would stay? Maybe that is for a bank. To respond.
If I could see, if we realize that the word that keep coming up is history.
Yeah.
And even from someone who just finished school and starting out and stuff like that, history is important, because what the financial institution looks at is money coming in.
Right.
And it should be coming in from a legitimate means.
Right, of course.
And I tell that to, because there are a lot of farmers and stuff like that people, or I should say people, that still think that cash is king.
Yes.
Cash is not king again, because most of the companies are regulated through the Financial Intelligence Unit.
Yes, FIU.
The FIU. And with companies can only accept a certain amount of money that is in cash.
Of course, even in the credit unions, I think it's 9,900.
And everything else comes in. So this is where history comes in you depositing the money.
Okay.
Because most times when you're going to look for a card, they need to see how money has been circulating through your account. To be able to say, because they are looking at you and assessing you to say, if I lend you this money, would you pay me back?
Of course. Are you consistent?
And that's where
it's not necessarily consistent.
No, with the credit union.
With
the credit union. Oh, okay, in that
the
aspect.
legitimate means of paying me, and that's where history comes in.
Okay.
Because you're not going to be taking money from somewhere and put it in an account.
Right.
And they see that you have this money inside of the account, and going to be able to use that to be able to, because you could borrow that money from somebody to put inside it. And this is where I'm saying history comes in. Even from a young person that coming out of school and now start to work and things like that they need to be able to have a bank account so they can save the money.
Of course.
So that the salaries could pass through the account to be able to bill, and that's how you build a credit history.
Of course.
Because any institution will look for a history.
So history is important.
Is the most important part. And that's why, as parents too, when you have children, open a bank account for the
Yes, at an early age.
at an early age, and have them start saving, start having the idea to be able to put the money inside the day, because as they get older, it will come very important.
Yes, definitely. Well, at this time, we're going to take our first short break, and we'll be right back. You're viewing Transforming Lives One at a Time. Stay with us.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters and yes, windows. Plus a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Powerlink Graphic Enterprise, Storby Local Road, Crown Point, Tobago, for a variety of quality printing products, including banners, posters, jerseys, flyers, and more. Graduation packages, get customized grad bags, mugs, newspapers, and the list goes on. Powerlink Graphic Enterprise, open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. Call 269-6996. We create ideas that inspire. Hi, I am Deanne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and I would like to introduce you to our brand new segment, Good Vibes, Good News. And this is where you have the opportunity to highlight your good news. You can send your 90 seconds video to our WhatsApp number 868-701-2099. That's 868-701-2099. Let's hear some of the good news that we never hear about. Good vibes, good news. Inspiring hope. Celebrating wins. Truly grateful.
Welcome back to the program. Well, today we're talking about vehicles. We are talking about walking into the showroom and probably driving out with something brand new. Well, Mr. Trim, let me bring you in here a little bit more into the conversation. And of course, you would give us insights about the mechanical aspect. The part that some of us, especially some of us ladies, listen, for me personally, I will confess here. For me personally, I would like to just put gas in the car and drive.
Right.
But I know that is not practical, and I know I have to do more. All right. So maybe that is one of the reasons I brought you on the program as well. So let's talk about how crucial is having a well-maintained vehicle.
Top 100. And because anybody, I would tell, to be able to buy a car from any weight, but the maintenance of the car is, or it gives you the longevity of it. And the way how cars are being made these days with the amount of technologies and so in there, sometimes that you don't even need to remember that it's time for service.
Yes.
Because you can set that on the vehicles, where the vehicles actually remind you of it. That's where we reach.
Yes.
And or even to a point, are you very good at charging your cell phone?
All the time. Very good.
We have cars now that you can plug it in.
Of course, I saw that recently.
To charge, where you don't have to go to the gas station.
Yes,
You can
yes,
pass the
yes,
gas station and wave.
I passed a house somewhere in was it Mount Pleasant, and I saw it, and I was like, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the benefits.
Yes.
One of the best things, and the technology and that's to show you where technology reach. And for us in Trinidad and Tobago, anybody who can own an electric vehicle is the best.
Really?
In terms of
Cost.
you have eliminated your whole gas bill.
Okay.
You have added to your electricity bill, as you say, in Tobago, no more than $150 per month on the high end. And that's for somebody who actually drives.
Right. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Your maintenance cost is less.
All right.
And even the drive of it is one of the smoothest things you can, because it's effortless.
Okay. So you have electric cars now
Yes, we do.
We
in
do.
the showroom.
Because how they have them now is that you have, which is considered ICE, internal combustion engines. Then you can step up to a hybrid, which
Yes.
a hybrid has two propulsion systems, which is the engine on one side and you have a battery on the other side. And within hybrid now, then you can get what is a normal hybrid or what is considered a plug-in hybrid.
Okay.
And a normal hybrid, the car does the switching between when it drives on the engine and when it drives on the battery.
Okay.
All you have to do is drive. The plug-in hybrid means that there is a slightly larger battery in it than the normal hybrid. But the difference with that now is that you have to actually plug in that battery to charge it. And on that, you can drive on the battery alone without the engine coming on at any point, unless all the energy inside of it has depleted itself.
Okay. Well, you're jumping a bit ahead of me because I wanted to bring into the mix a little later on, but it seems like I have to jump in here. I wanted to bring in the hybrid and or the full electric vehicles, which are becoming increasingly popular.
Yes.
It is.
And what are the benefits? So, giving us some of the benefits as opposed to the vehicles that we have grown accustomed to, the gas vehicles. So you would see the long lines in the gas station. Okay, super premium.
Yeah.
So one of the big difference with a hybrid vehicle is that because it has the two propulsion systems, you're supposed to be going to the gas station less.
Okay.
So if you're accustomed with an ICE vehicle, you normally go every week. With a hybrid vehicle, you may go every 2 weeks. Sometimes some people may go 3 weeks based on how their driving pattern is, because that has a lot to do with it.
All right.
Your driving pattern has a lot to do with it. And then it comes with the full electric, where you pass the gas station,
Wow.
but you have to hook up that one
Can
at home.
pass it straight.
Right. So these hybrid vehicles obviously will be significantly higher than the gas cars.
Not necessarily, because the government has incentives
Okay, yes.
for us currently. Most hybrid vehicles, unless it is the luxury vehicles, has taxes on it. So hybrid vehicles will be less than an ICE vehicle, because an internal combustion engine vehicle has the motor vehicle tax in it, has VAT in it, where a hybrid and a electric, because the government incentives, there is
Yes.
none currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And may I just add, because of our eco-friendly country here in Tobago,
Yes.
we believe in less combustion.
Of
so
course.
leaving less of a carbon footprint. So
Yes.
that's why the government has taken off those taxes, the VAT, the motor vehicle tax on these vehicles. So it makes it easier to purchase a hybrid vehicle.
Of course. So greater incentive.
That's
so they
right.
want bring in all of these and let's get rid of.
Yeah.
Well, I still want to bring you back to the maintenance, because the majority of persons still have gas, the gas operated cars, right? So I want us to talk a little bit more about the maintenance in terms of how often do you change the transmission fluid? How is it that every morning you get up, you are supposed to check the oil and check these and check? Tell us, let's talk about that, because we're talking about it. And yes, we have a lot of persons who have owned cars, but we also have to understand that there are a lot of persons who have never owned a vehicle and they may not be privy to such information. And of course, here in Transforming Lives One at a Time, we are to inform persons. So,
Between all the vehicles, there is a maintenance to each one of them. Just that between the different manufacturers, there may be different time intervals.
okay.
for some of our vehicles, we have it that you service the vehicle every 5,000 kilometers
All right.
or 6 months, or 5,000 kilometers or 3 months.
Okay.
Some have 10,000 kilometers and 6 months. It varies based on the manufacturer.
And the usage, because how
Well,
often you're on the road.
Guys, that's why they have it at either 5,000 kilometers
Right.
or 6 months. 6 months, I just always say, or the time is for people who don't drive.
Okay. Got you.
And the mileage is for people who does
Of
drive.
course.
Because
Got
that will
you.
come before the
Yes.
before the other.
Yeah.
So because the manufacturers, you have to go with the spec, because to be able to, well, when we get now into warranty, that's all part of maintaining your warranty.
Okay.
That you need to service the vehicle on the specific time that the manufacturers have given you.
Right. And if
To be
you
able to do
don't,
it.
you can lose your warranty.
And that's where you could be able to
Okay.
to void the
avoid it,
warranty.
yeah.
But a lot of times when you ask the question about what you're supposed to do when the day come and things like that, those things are normally left to the manufacturers to do with the oil and stuff like that. But as a person that is home,
Right.
what you have to look at is if the vehicle is accustomed parking somewhere and you move the vehicle and you are seeing like oil or
Right,
something,
yes.
that is the indicator to you.
But by that time, it's late.
Not necessarily.
Because you might be in problems at that time.
Not necessarily, because sometimes a lot of times the cars have defaults to be able to indicate to you from on the inside. But visual is
Right.
what you may use, and what you, as somebody who is not mechanically inclined,
Like myself.
to be able to look, because
No, you could have said no. Eh?
no, you would never believe the nice thing about it is when somebody don't know, is that they require to ask a question.
Of course.
And when you ask a question, you have now made yourself knowledgeable. So if somebody else, or if you see it with somebody else, that you can afford to tell them that I don't think that looking right.
Right.
I think you should go.
Okay.
I think you should get it. You should
Okay.
get it checked. More than seeing it and not saying anything,
Of course.
and saying it at all. So it's always good to be able to have people ask questions
Yeah.
about situation, about anything, to be able to understand it.
Of course.
Because a lot of times when people come and collect a car, the excitement that is in it, half the
course.
things they
Yes,
they don't remember.
So the onus is actually on the owner of the vehicle. You have to take charge.
Because remember, the only time that we would know is when you come to us.
And that can be 6 months later.
You have it. So you have to be observant to certain things that is happening.
Right.
To be able to ask a question too. Because it really and truly is, if you're not sure, it's better to be able to come to find out.
Of course.
Because that could cause more problems if you don't, or just allow it to be able to pass.
That's right, because even something like having no oil in the engine could cost you an engine head and block.
It can.
It could be very costly.
Even driving, when you're driving, you're not accustomed hearing a sound.
Right.
And because I should say 80% of the complaints that you get from a customer is that they're hearing a sound.
Correct.
which is not necessarily a bad thing, because there's a lot of people who have a lot of stuff inside of the car.
Yeah. Especially in the trunk.
And it's not always good, because the stuff, especially when you have it loose,
Yes,
always rolling around and
yes,
hitting
yes.
something
Of
and
course.
like that.
So it could cause damage, and then of
but
course
not necessarily that it cause damage, because remember, the complaint is that you're hearing a
sound.
sound.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So do you have persons getting up to check their vehicles every morning, check the oil and check the radiator,
I
check
think,
all these things?
well, I would say the fanatics, those who are really into vehicles and so
Yes.
forth, and you would find more prevalence of maybe the males checking.
Yes.
Could be sounding a bit biased there.
No, but it's true,
know,
because ladies, as I
yeah.
indicated, we really want to,
Yeah.
because when you think about it, listen, I always say men are headliners and women are detailers.
Okay.
So we deal with so many other things. We don't really want to come and
Yeah.
deal with coming and check
Yeah.
the oil. We just want to come in the car, drive
Yeah.
and pass by the gas station if needs be.
So you would have some that will check.
Yes,
right?
of course.
And the good thing that Mr. Trim mentioned is that, with these modern vehicles now, and that's one of the benefits that you get in purchasing a brand new vehicle, up-to-date vehicle, a modern vehicle, you have all these signs that are telling you, check your tire pressure. So
Okay.
typically, we may not have, right? But check it, monitor your tire pressure.
Yes,
If
yes.
the radiator light comes on, if for some reason, check. So those indicators come on, and customers call us regularly. Denise, this light is coming on. What is
Right.
this?
It's an
Okay, it's
alert.
probably to put pressure in your tire or check. So they do come on, and thankfully, you could check the manual. We advise
course.
customers, please check your manual.
And troubleshoot.
Yes, and there's so much online material,
Okay.
right? So I would refer them to sometimes a site, and of course, if they might actually, where's the gas tank?
Yes.
But read the manual, and of course, if you don't, then you get in touch with the technicians.
Of
and
course.
we would refer them.
A very simple thing that we have shown customers, and a lot of people never realize it. Do you know where you see the gas gauge
Yeah.
on your car, where you see the little gas tank, you
Right.
see that there is an arrow
Yeah.
Yes.
right next to it?
Mhm.
That arrow actually indicates which side of the vehicle
That's right.
Oh,
the tank is.
somebody showed me that recently. Somebody showed me that. I was like, really? Because sometimes, and especially if, sometimes you may be driving a rental for some reason to pick up persons or whatever it is. And then you're wondering, and that
Where is
happened
it
just
done?
yesterday because my niece has a rental.
Okay.
And we were heading to the gas station, and she was like, Auntie, what side is? I said, I don't know. So I told her, pull it, and then, but I did not even remember that you could look on the dashboard and see which side.
There's a lot of little tricks that cars give you. The manual a lot of times is important, because whenever something happens, happening,
Right.
a light will normally comes up to be able to indicate to you. And just opening the manual or having the page that has what the light means folded.
Right.
Because some of those books are very thick.
Of course.
So most times when you're looking in front of you, you would see a light come up. And to be able to know what the light means
Right.
is the easier thing, to be able to have the manual, to be able to have that page folded. So it's easy to be able to go to look to that, to be able to see what it says.
But even as you talk about the manual, I mean, we have to be real. A lot of persons don't read manuals. You would purchase a washing machine, you would purchase a fridge, and you will look at it. Oh, pretty nice. Okay, I plug it on. You don't. A lot of persons, come on, we have to.
We do.
I'm speaking straight into the camera. A lot of you don't look at the manual. You don't read the manual. So what Mr. Tribb is saying there is very, very true. So sometimes things that can be easily solved, or sometimes you may plug in something that is not supposed to be plugged in as yet. You're supposed to do certain preliminaries, but we don't take time to go through the manual. But I want us to talk about warranty, and that is another thing, because many times, yes, you will see the warranty, and then you see some fine things below that a lot of persons tend to ignore. So let's talk a bit about the manuals.
So warranty.
The warranty,
the warranty.
sorry.
Warranty may differ between different brands, and because different brands offer a different level of warranty.
Right.
And the most important part where that is concerned, because warranty is a contract between the customer, the dealer, and the manufacturer.
Okay.
So warranty is normally the dealer, which is the company like us, which is a middleman. Because what we have to do is that we have to assess whatever it is, because warranty covers what they call manufacturer defects.
Okay.
Not that if you think that that something goes, it automatically is under warranty. Things manufacturer defects, and with the dealers, we have to make sure that whatever it is a manufacturer defect, and then we can now replace the part, and the labor to warranty actually covers the replacement of the part,
Okay.
and the labor to replace the part.
Right.
And that goes back to the manufacturers to be able to now in turns pay back the dealer. So we are the middlemen between both people.
Right.
And this is where history of the vehicle actually comes in.
Okay, yes.
Because if you are not coming to be able to service the vehicle at the required times
Of course.
that the manufacturers and them ask you to do, then that comes in hard to be able to do the warranty.
Of course.
So everything kind of ties back in
Yes,
itself.
yes. So if you're supposed to come in at a designated time, come in. That just in case anything, you would, and talk about the history again. Generally, history.
That word just keeps coming.
Yes, it keeps resonating.
Coming.
But at this time, we're going to take another short break and we'll be right back. You're viewing Transforming Lives One at a Time. We're talking about vehicles. Yes. Stay with us.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to DCell's Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. DCell's Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters and yes, windows. Plus a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at DCell's Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Howling Graphic Enterprise, Storby Local Road, Crown Point, Tobago, for a variety of quality printing products, including banners, posters, jerseys, flyers, and more. Graduation packages, get customized grad bags, mugs, newspapers, and the list goes on. Powerlink Graphic Enterprise, open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. Call 269-6996. We create ideas that inspire.
Welcome back to the program. Well, just before the break, we were talking about the importance of the warranty and exactly what it means. So, Mr. Trim, just continue in that vein.
Well, as I said previously, that warranty is a contract between the customer and the manufacturer, and because you don't want to, that investment that you have just made.
That's right.
You don't want. There is no purpose.
Yeah.
In purchasing a vehicle, and then you have that and not willing to be able to utilize it or to even lose it, because with anything, a vehicle is man-made.
Yeah.
Anything could go wrong,
Of course.
and that's where the warranty really comes in. That it can be a peace of mind for a lot of people. And I think we were talking about the parts.
Yes.
In it, that. Where you're saying earlier that there were a lot of people that saying that they have that they don't have parts in it.
Yes, of course.
I
And
think
it's parked up for like about 6 months. I can't access this part.
there's a lot of factors behind that one. We have to remember too that where vehicles parts are concerned, it is imported.
Yes.
And anything that you import, you have to pay for it. And you have to pay in US dollars.
Right.
So I think that is the biggest factor. And as we realize that there's a lot of things that is dwindling where that is concerned. So there are challenges that I know that a lot of people are having. And even making up for it is taking them, because it is hard to be able to get that to be able to do it.
Yes, yes. Well, Denise, I wanted us to also talk about work to own,
All right.
which is very popular now, and of course over the counter. What exactly?
Yeah.
Walk us through these.
Yeah, so those are some common expressions that you may have heard in the car industry, where people say, Ms. Denise, you're doing our work to own. And that's really a combination with, let's say, with clients where they simply come and they said, okay, we're going to pay for this vehicle, give you a small investment, and we'll continue paying you in small amounts. Unfortunately, we don't do that at the company.
Right.
So when they say work to own, it's really they want the vehicle and they're willing to pay you in small installments.
Right.
So we don't do that. Okay. However, you might have heard the expression over the counter as well,
Yes.
which is in the past, you've had financial companies, let's say based on the compound, and customers, in order to pay their loan, they might come and pay it over the counter.
Okay.
So that's where the expression comes from, I'm going to pay you over the counter. And some persons may interpret that to mean that, well, yeah, I could pay you over the counter for the vehicle. However, what we advise customers to do is that go to your financial institution,
Yes.
get a loan for the vehicle. They would pay us for the entire cost of the vehicle, and then you would go and pay them over the counter or via, let's say, a payment from your from the business, or
Right.
you pay them through your account, right?
Okay.
Now, and with that, that's where you would have, it would allow the person to qualify for a loan. So that's where the debt service ratio would come in. So the
Right,
bank would
yes.
tell you how much you can pay per month, how much is your disposable income after they've done all the calculations. They will say, okay, Diane or Diane, you can pay for this vehicle, you can pay for that vehicle
Okay.
according to your disposable income. So the debt service ratio could vary anywhere from 35% to
Right.
42%. I know of one company that is giving up to 45% on a debt service ratio. So all of these factors come into play when you're purchasing a vehicle.
Right, right. A lot of information being disseminated today.
That's right.
Well, I want us to talk a little bit about the resale value of a vehicle and how important it is to actually consider the brand of the vehicles, because sometimes you would purchase a vehicle and then for some reason you may have to move abroad,
Right.
and you need to resell that vehicle.
Okay.
You need to sell that vehicle rather. How important is that?
Well, it's a matter of relativity, I would say, because how I would look at a brand, you might look at a brand differently, right? Let's just say you're coming with a Mercedes Benz, or you're coming with an Audi, or you're coming with a Volvo, or you're coming with a Nissan vehicle, right? So it's really according to how you would look at the brand, right? Now, there are some brands that are coming into the country that's fairly new.
Right.
So people might say, all right, I wouldn't want to purchase that brand because it's an unknown brand. But the more known ones that we've had over the years,
Right.
people may traditionally go with those brands. So therefore, the resale value retains itself. If you look at a B14, the Nissan B14, it's like, it stays at a certain
Yeah,
value,
it's
right?
flooding the market.
Yeah, it stays at a certain value. So when you're looking at, you might invest in a vehicle probably for about 3-4 years, you're going abroad, as you say. In order to retain the value of the vehicle, you have to maintain a warranty.
Of course.
People are going to look at you, how you maintain that vehicle. They will check how you've kept it, if you've washed it. Simple as that, because people observe you. Right?
Yes,
you
of
think
course.
they don't, but they observe how you keep the vehicle.
Yes.
Certain aspects, let's say if you're in certain careers, they would say that person barely drives that vehicle, it's just to and from work, right?
Yes.
But to retain the value of the vehicle, I would say make sure and maintain your warranty, make sure change the parts and so forth, right?
Of course.
And keep it at a certain standard so that when you're ready to sell, then it gives you a good value. Now, one of the ways that a vehicle depreciates its value over
From the time it walks,
Yes.
from the time it
Leaves
comes
the
out of the showroom.
Yeah. Right? So it depreciates, right?
Yes.
But let's say if you don't drive it much, this is where the word mileage comes in, right?
Okay.
So it's a breakdown. It's two words. So in terms of the miles that you've gotten over the time,
Yes.
then that will determine how much the cost of the vehicle will go for. Whereas if you don't use much of the miles, right?
Right.
But you just keep it there, then it retains a certain value, right? So if you, for example, you're working it as a taxi,
Yes.
right? So it develop a lot of mileage,
Of
high end,
course.
right?
Constant.
Compared to just driving it to and from work. So a lot of features come into mind, or a lot of specs come into mind if you're looking at resale.
Right.
But if I'm to look at a vehicle, I would check the history. We come back to that word
Yes.
again. Check the history on the vehicle. Check the servicing of the vehicle, if it's been in any previous accidents and so forth.
Right.
And then I would, a quick tip is check the newspapers. See what this current vehicle is going at,
Okay,
what
the
people
going
are
rate.
selling, right?
Yes.
So you have an idea of the value of the vehicle if you're either selling or purchasing the vehicle. But brands, it really comes down to what people feel about it, because everybody have their idea what's a high-end vehicle or what's not a high-end vehicle.
Of course.
If I could add on that,
Yes.
because we have so much new brands that coming into the market now, they now will have to make their own time as time goes along.
Yeah.
Develop.
But sometimes a lot of the brands that are coming in has a price point that it is easier for more people to be able to get. Which is which is what everybody's doing, because most people want to be able to get a car.
That's
They
right.
want to get, doesn't say a car, a vehicle with certain things.
Right.
But then it has to be in a price point that they can afford.
Of course.
Yeah.
So long time we say taking a Nissan, a this, a that. But then when you compare some of those and the price point of that to some of the other ones,
Right.
it may be two different things.
Yes.
So it really comes down to the price of the vehicle and then how you take care of the vehicle.
That's right.
Because when you have to sell it back, that's history again
Of course.
comes in, and how you take it, because they would look at the vehicle, know the history and stuff like that, to know if somebody else want to be able to purchase it.
Yes.
But for the average person, it really comes down to what can I afford now.
Right.
And as I said, some of the newer brands, the price point that they are coming at, it is way more affordable.
Okay. Okay. And as you spoke about the kind of new technology in vehicles and stuff, I remember a few years ago I went to Germany and I visited the Mercedes-Benz company. Listen, that was just such an amazing experience, because there were robots putting in the dashboard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just now, I said, robots putting in the dashboard, and they say based on the what clients want, their preferences, whatever color seating, and that kind of thing. And I was just amazed. And the population, the work population of that Mercedes-Benz in company in Germany was 50,000. So I was telling my friends, I said, that's the population of Tobago where I come from. 50,000 workers, plus they have these robots put in it. I think I might have to make a trip again to see what has evolved.
But you
Quite
never
a bit.
believe
Quite a bit. Yeah.
that a lot of the cars now are coming with a lot of the features that we think that the Mercedes and them
That's
and
right.
the BMW or the luxury vehicles a lot of those features are coming in some of these brands, because we have a car now that if you are driving and it finds that you're going to be able to hit a car in front and you're not mashing the brakes fast enough, that the car will slam on the brakes.
Yeah.
Most of them things you would find normally in a luxury vehicle, that you find it in a lower cost vehicle now. And this is where a lot of the technology has changed.
Yes.
Okay.
Because these are the things that they're asking for. Because a car now is not or a vehicle now is not just a vehicle. A vehicle now, because they built around safety. So a lot of the things that it is doing is interacting or doing things for you that you may not interact, because the car may be faster to adapt and to interact with something more than you.
Correct.
And that's
Wow.
just where we have reached.
Very, very interesting. Well, as we begin to wrap up the program for today, I just want to give you probably about 1 minute to just make your closing comments, maybe reiterate on something you said earlier, or maybe just touch quickly on something we did not discuss as we wrap up.
Well, I would like to say thank you for allowing us to be here. And it's really been a pleasure. And always, when you're purchasing a vehicle, my emphasis would be do your research, right? Do it, and then you can decide what vehicle you want, because it's a lifetime investment.
Yes.
You're going to be with that vehicle 8, possibly 10 years down the road. So invest in your vehicle, make sure and maintain your warranty, because we want you to enjoy your vehicle.
Yes. Mr. Trim?
And we are from Massey Motors, and because we have 6 brands, I should say on our belt, and there's a lot of options in between it.
Okay.
So by us, we have something starting from 150,000 straight up to 1-point-something million. So we do have and everything in between.
Right.
So
you're matching any pocket.
Yes.
We
That's
match any
right.
pocket. And between an internal combustion engine, a hybrid vehicle, an electric vehicle,
Yes.
options
Plug-in
is what
hybrid.
people are required,
Correct.
and options is what we are giving you.
Very well, sir. Very well. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming in today.
You're
And we're
welcome.
talking about vehicles and car ownership. And I think I may have to call you back for a part 2
Right.
because we just didn't have enough time to really delve into all the
Yes.
areas that we wanted. But
Thank you.
I'm certain that whatever information has been shared today will definitely transform a life.
That's right.
Definitely.
All right, so thanks again for joining us today. I know the information shared today would definitely be beneficial to you, our treasured viewers. I am your host, Deanne McClutchy, always happy to be in your space. You can check us out on our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, TikTok. As usual, I leave you with the definition of transformation, which is an internal shift that brings us into alignment with our fullest potential. Hey, we've got this. I now leave you with beautiful scenery of Tobago.
Wonderful.